the entire first season of in one video. We start off with the Mauler twins, who are not even actual twins, since one of them is just a clone, but they don't know which one. And they're here to kidnap the president, but luckily the bootleg Justice League, I mean the Guardians of the Globe, are here to stop them. They even got their own Superman. He's just called Omniman. And he looks like the cartoon dad prototype. Maybe they just saw Henry Cavill with his nice mustache and thought, yeah, actually why not? They make quick work of the Blue Man Group, and we get to meet our actual protagonist, Mark, your average kid in high school. And Omni-Man is his dad? But Mark's powers have not kicked in yet, so he does his best impression of the Chainsaw Man author and tries to fly? Anyway, in school he sees a girl being harassed by some dude, and obviously he has to try and save her, but he gets his ass whooped. The conflict then gets solved by Amber, the girl, with a kick into the dude's nuts. That's even worse than the legendary anime gut punch. Even though Mark just kinda got beat up, he scores? While working at McDonald's, he discovers that his powers finally kicked in, as he casually throws some trash into space. But honestly, his sorry ass should have stayed at Burger Mart, following the greasy footsteps of another so-called hero.
The fries in the bag, you damn nerd!
Even his dad doesn't seem too happy about him developing his powers.
Are you sure?
But at least we get his backstory, since he's from an alien race of superpowered individuals that venture out into the galaxy to help other planets because they're just good people. Sure. Since it's already a little late, Nolan promises Mark to train tomorrow together. But this night Mark just can't sleep because he's so hyped for tomorrow, just like me as a kid before Christmas. And he goes out flying alone, which works surprisingly well, just the landing seems to need some more practice. And even with his dad the next day, it doesn't go much better. After flying, they do a little bit of combat training, and damn, Nolan is standing on business, no bullshit. Look at this man just staring after punching his kid. Back at school, Mark meets the typical bully dude again, as in every show ever, but since he has his powers now, it's gonna go a little bit different than last time. Honestly, I thought he'd finally whoop the bully's ass, but it just gets a little weird between them instead.
Again, harder.
After that, Mark feels ready for his first mission. But before, he needs to think of a superhero name. So he chooses... And his fit? Damn.
What the hell is even that?
Also, how is he already having trouble with a random stone dude? They fight for a little bit, but then Mark finally decides to log in and beats the guy just in time for his dad to pull up and trash talk his fit. So they go to get him a drip update. And with his new costume, Mark goes out to do some more superhero stuff. And after watching the first episode, I thought, well, this is just a very chill, average superhero cartoon. But oh man, I was not prepared for what came after the end credits. Omni-Man just takes out the whole Guardians of the Globes in the most gruesome way possible. Not even saying a word, no talking, just straight hands. I love it. The way he defeats the Darkest Night. I have to say, living in this world as a regular citizen must really be the worst thing ever. I mean, all kinds of bad guys pull up, and one of your best superheroes is this guy? Hell nah. But at least bootleg Wonder Woman and the Immortal would have a bit of a fight, but they're also no match for Nolan, and he takes them out real quick. Nolan, who also went down after the fight, gets sent into the hospital. After these shocking news, Mark goes back to hero business, and again, this is just the worst world to live in. Forget Attack on Titan, forget Berserk, random CGI aliens just pull up and start blasting civilians. Mark then attempts to stop them by just talking to them. Yeah. This ain't Naruto, there ain't no talk ninjutsu in this. But after a little prep talk, he gets it together and tries to save an old lady, even though I feel like he does more harm to her than actually helping. And just as Mark was about to get clapped, the Teen Titans, the team pulls up to save the day. And she didn't do anything yet, but I swear, I hate Duplicate. She gets so annoying in the later seasons. Anyway, Also, the GOAT himself, Rex Plode, is there, same as Adam Eve and Robot. But this is still the Invincible universe we're talking about, so they're also about to get clapped. But all of a sudden the aliens age rapidly and start looking like an avocado if you leave it alone for 2 seconds. So they just leave through their portal again. The next day, Mark also finally realizes that Adam Eve goes to the same school as him. He just never noticed that before. I mean, she's not even doing the Superman glasses moves, it's literally just her. But at least now Mark is really getting it on with her. They even go for a fly together. She introduces him to the team and of course, she already has a boyfriend. Every time.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
But to be fair, Mark is getting some top tier advice from his friend William back at school. Luckily, it doesn't even matter because Amber, the girl Mark saved earlier, is actually making the first move. Big W for that. Also, William again being the best friend ever and gives her Mark's number. He's really just one of my favorite side characters in the show. Oh, and also the random Grandma Invincible was trying to save didn't make it. Am I the only one who just didn't care about that at all? But no time to think about that anyway, because the aliens are back for round 2 and just plop out of the portal again. But this time, they've got upgraded tech, since time on their home planet moves much quicker. So now they got bracelets to not age anymore. They even developed some counterplay for every team member. But they forgot about the ultimate power-up, being a simp. Mark sees Eve in danger and instantly locks in, I swear. Every hero just gets a power-up every time a girl is threatened. Robot, meanwhile, figures out how to disable the anti-aging bracelets, so the aliens just make a run for it again. Omniman is now also completely fine again after nearly dying before and gets released from the hospital. Him and Mark then have some more combat drills and this man is really such a sore loser after being hit just once. He was about to erase his own son off the map. He's just like me for real, for real. And oh wow, another alien shows up. But this time actually in space. Usually Mark's dad would go and handle it, but since he just came fresh out the hospital, Mark is gonna have to do it. And before Mark leaves, his dad drops one of the best memes. I remember when season 1 came out, you really could not escape it, it was everywhere. So when will I get a like?
That's the neat thing. You don't.
Anywho, Invincible goes to fight the alien in space, but it turns out the alien is really just a chill guy and just went to the wrong planet on accident. He tells Mark about the rebellion, government, union, whatever he is part of and dips. Back in school, Mark gets Amber's phone number from the bully guy and surprise surprise, the portal aliens are back another time. But this time they got even more advanced weapons. They're just like me with every Elden Ring boss that I can't beat on my first attempt. They just come back more leveled every time. Mark obviously gets clapped again, but this time his dad also joins in on the action, and to make sure they don't come back another time, he goes after them into the portal, and the way he is destroying their whole planet, you could almost think he's a bad guy. But no, not Omniman, right? I mean, he's such a nice dad and all, he would never be secretly evil, right? But evil or not, at least he's a damn good actor, because on the funeral of the Guardians, he's killing it, acting like they were his best friends. And Rex Plode, the dumbass, fumbles one of the best girls in the show and cheats on her with Cade? Out of all people? What an idiot. Since the Guardians all died besides Omniman, they're having triads now, and man, did a lot of random characters show up. I mean, who's this? The Incredible Bulk? At the end, Robot, who was put in charge to choose the new team, just basically picked all of his own homies. Reminds me of PE class, but also 3 new additions joined the team. In Shrinking Ray, who really didn't have to do DK like this. Monster Girl, who ages backwards every time she's using her powers. I got a feeling some Genshin Impact players would love her. I swear guys, she's actually 9,000 years old.
You're weird.
And Black Samson. Not gonna lie, I don't even know what his power is. Rex then immediately gets into a fight with Monster Girl, but before he gets turned into a bloody pulp, Invincible can finally show off. Of course, against the other heroes he's acting all tough now. And Omniman is already seeing his next victims. Look at him just staring again. That's really just his signature move.
Pathetic.
Then Mark is making moves on Amber still, but I'ma skip all of that because I don't really care. But their little date gets interrupted anyway by some old dude attacking Mount Rushmore. At least they managed to take him out relatively easy. and even save civilians for once. But the mad scientist manages to escape. Since Mark just left Amber waiting in his room, he sprints back to her. After some fatherly advice,
You might want to change.
Oh, crap. Dad, you got a little... here?
and they're actually getting it on. Just unlucky timing for Eve, who came over to talk after a breakup with Rex. Meanwhile, the Mauler twins from the beginning enjoy their time in prison, but oh, some mysterious person is helping them escape. Who could this be? One of them dies during the prison break, but that's fine, since the surviving one can always just clone himself again. And the mysterious person helping them was Robot. And the demon detective is still investigating on Omniman and tells Debbie about his findings, which leads to Debbie doing her own investigations and distrusting Nolan more and more. But hey, at least Mark can go on his first date with Amber. Is it just me who thinks it's weird they already went to the second base just to then go back to the first? Meanwhile, Nolan has a nice friendly conversation with Cecil, the director of the Global Defense Agency, who sends Mark to space again, but this time with an actual spaceship, just to protect some random astronauts. We're going to Mars, but that means he needs to leave his new girlfriend Amber. Oh, and after he's already in space, Cecil tells him, by the way, there are Martians, but hey, they live underground, so surely nothing will go wrong, right? Of course, something goes wrong. On Mars, there are these small little creatures called the Sequids that are weak on their own, but can fuse with a host and become one strong half-mind. Luckily, the Martians are immune to them, but sadly, our astronauts aren't. And Mark then doesn't realize that one of the astronauts was replaced by a Martian who copied his appearance with his shape-shifting abilities. So they just dip and leave the real astronaut behind. Oh well, not our problem, I guess. Meanwhile, Cecil decides to send the demon detective back to hell, where he can stay till season 4 or whatever. Even though Cecil knows Omniman is guilty, he believes it's too soon to reveal it. Also, the relationship trouble of Mark and Amber continues, since it is difficult for him to balance his duties as a superhero with his personal life, as he always needs to leave Amber to fight random aliens or dragons or whatever. Of course, like every man, Mark promises he will change and that it's gonna be better, blah blah blah, but let's be real, nothing is gonna change. And hey, the stone dude from earlier needs Invincible's help now. At first, Mark isn't convinced, but Titan, that's the stone dude, seems to be a nice guy actually, who just wants to protect his daughter from his boss, who sounds like he's about to drop a sick track on SoundCloud.
That's the last of it. Paid in full. I'm done.
Nah.
So Invincible agrees to help him, and I feel like Titan immediately regrets asking him. Also, we finally see why Robot helped the Mauler twins to escape. He wants them to make a clone body for him, since he's not actually a robot, just crippled. And he saw the way Monster Girl stared at Rex earlier, so he decided to not just take his whole flow, but straight up become an actual clone of him. Meanwhile, Invincible confronts Machine Head together with Titan, but he underestimates the most powerful weapon in America.
I've got money!
And holy shit, how did this dude get Battle Beast on his team? That's as if the random dude from Captain America Civil War had hired Thanos to protect him from Iron Man. So yes, you guessed it, Mark is getting clapped once again, which is really unfortunate because Amber is waiting for him at the soup kitchen. That's just really important to her apparently. And just when Mark was about to get completely toasted, the rest of the fraud league pull up. But to no surprise, they're also not really much of a help and get rolled too. Like Samson then thinks he's the main character and tries to take on Battle Beast all by himself, but that goes as well as you would expect. The power of friendship really does not exist in this show. Monster Girl then also tries the same thing and gets beaten up even worse, till Battle Beast decides to just leave.
This battle is beneath me. There is no honor in killing insects.
Because the Guardians are so trash, it is a waste of his time to even fight them. And usually when the villain pulls this move, you know they're just about to lose. But Battle Beast is actually just spitting facts here. The other heroes then at least managed to take down the other remaining villains. Mark immediately gets sent into the hospital. And I feel like that's where he spends the most time this season. And yes, he sadly missed Amber's great soup kitchen date. I really couldn't imagine anything more romantic than serving soup together. The whole thing was also planned by Titan, who just takes over as the new boss. Man, he really played Mark, but everyone recovers at least, and since high school is over soon, Mark and his friends are looking for a college to apply to. But the one they visit has a Scooby-Doo-esque mystery going on. With students randomly disappearing. It even hit Rick from Rick and Morty.
But that's not important. What's important is that I'm motherfucking Doug Cheston.
He did what? Oh, never mind. They're all kidnapped by a mysterious scientist who wants to bring the new level of human evolution, yada yada yada. And now I have a little riddle. Guess who out of these characters is a creepy scientist? 32, yes. Yes, it's that one. He even talks like one of these weird 4chan users.
Muscular, assertive, classic alpha male.
But our squad is not bothered by him further and just keeps enjoying their time. Also, shout out to William for scoring big. But all of this is interrupted by a random cyborg creature spawning in. Mark, wanting to help, leaves
Mark!
to return as invincible just in time to save William, who then also finally recognizes that Mark is invincible. However, once again Mark gets rolled. Man, this triggers me so much. Why is he getting hoed by literally everything? Before the cyborg can finish Mark off, he just decides to off himself instead after seeing his own reflection. Relatable. Anyway, since it looked like Mark just left Amber to die, she's understandably pretty angry at him. It really doesn't look good on you to just leave your girl behind like that. So they take a little break for now, and Amber just goes on some random party of a dude she just met.
Sus.
Debbie also found Nolan's costume that he was wearing when he fought the Guardians and figured out that he was the one who killed them. And bro, how often are we gonna get the shot of him just staring menacingly?
He's just standing there, menacingly!
Also, William's new boyfriend just disappeared now. While trying to find him, William follows clues that are just placed like a bad video game. They lead him into the sewers, and let's be real. What good could come out of you going down there? But he does it anyway. And, who could have thought, he gets captured. So Mark has to go and save him, but misses his chance to talk to Amber. After fighting off some cyborgs, Mark finds the secret lab just in time, but is struggling again with the cyborgs till William's boyfriend, who also got turned into one of them, comes to its senses after a heartfelt speech from William. And together, they defeat the rest, including the evil Reddit mod looking scientist, who then gets taken into custody by Cecil. But not before Mark could deliver a very satisfying punch. Man, after all that, the ride home must have been real awkward. So awkward, in fact, that Mark and Amber break up. Debbie also decides to confront Nolan on why he killed the Guardians, hoping he at least had a good reason for it, but disappointed by him, she just kicks him out of the house. She also tells Cecil about it, but he just knew that already. I mean, it was kinda obvious. Robot's clone is finally done, he just needs to upload his brain into it, and now he can be with Monster Girl, who still looks like a child, by the way. At least he made him also look like a child. Does that make it better? I don't know. Meanwhile, Mark tries to win Amber back with one final move by revealing his actual superhero identity. Yeah, that's gonna clear all up. She's gonna know why he left all the time and what? She knew? Why was she so mad at the campus earlier then? And about the fact that he always needs to leave to literally save lives. He really should have let the people die to be on a date with her or what? I swear, I hate her so much. But the soup kitchen. Shut up. Anyway, back to the main plot. Cecil sends his invisible soldiers to take out Omniman, spy on Omniman. I don't even know what the plan was here. I mean, the bullets can't even hurt him. And to no surprise, he completely demolishes them. And Donald, Cecil's right-hand man in the house next door. And I just love the way he flies through the wall. Donald doesn't go down without a fight though. And with his last breath, he hits the self-destruct button. Dovenschmidt would be proud. R.I.P. Donald, I guess. And Omni-Man was, well, completely unharmed. Not even his costume got destroyed. Nolan then tries to find Mark to tell him the truth about everything. He even practiced his speech before. How cute. Less cute is the way he talks to William, though.
Where's Mark, William?
Mark, on the other hand, is just chilling with Eve, who moved out after an argument with her parents and now lives in a treehouse. Basically, she really did what everyone as a kid was thinking after an argument with their parents. I'll leave and never return. Meanwhile, Cecil is still trying to stop Omni-Man by firing a giant space laser at him, paid for by the American taxpayers, that gave Omni-Man a nosebleed. Great, that will show him. Cecil then steps in himself, dodging Omni-Man with his teleportation tech, also paid for by American taxpayers, and tries to buy as much time as possible till he dips again, but not without leaving Omni-Man with a little surprise. After seeing the cyborgs giving Mark the business, Cecil took notes and now is using the same technology paired with dead soldiers' bodies to fight Omni-Man. So basically he just gave the psycho serial killer a job. Great. Shockingly, they are actually keeping Omni-Man a little busy, and one of them is even using Omni-Man's cape to attack him. Now that's some ingenuity. Till Nolan gets serious and absolutely demolishes them. Cecil is not done yet though. He teleports another giant monster to fight Omni-Man. And this time he might actually lose, since Cecil pumped it up with all kinds of drugs, just like 19-year-old fitness influencers. But Mark and Eve arrive just in time to save him, and together Mark and his dad take on the creature. Till all of a sudden the Immortal shows up, after he was put together again by the Mauler twins, and he's out for revenge. Shout out to him though for actually living up to his name. You really just can't leave Mark unsupervised for a moment, because he's just about to get eaten by the thing again. Nolan tries to help him but gets stopped by the Immortal, so Mark has to actually do something himself. He manages to get free and takes the beast out with the help of the power line. The Immortal just straight up sticks his fingers into Omni-Man's eyes, what the fuck, but Omni-Man can take him out again. Damn, the Immortal really lived 1,000 years just to never see a W. Now, they can finally talk. Nolan then tells Mark that his home planet Viltrum is only such a utopia because they murdered every weak individual, and they're not really out here to help other planets, but to conquer them. Now he just expects Mark to join him, no questions asked. He really didn't think that one through. Mark, still trying to process all this, loses it after Nolan calls Debbie a literal pet, which makes Mark realize on which side he stands on, and prepares to fight his own father. But we all know how that's gonna go. Yep, just like I thought. The army then pulls up with 2 fighter jets, and I really don't understand what exactly do they think they can accomplish here. Omni-Man just eats everything they throw at him and takes them out no problem before he hits us with another generational meme.
Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
Even if Mark tries his very best to save them, Nolan doesn't care anymore, and he's here to do his mission to conquer Earth, and if Mark won't join him, so be it. He punches Mark through the whole city, killing dozens of people, and even if Mark tries to fight back, there's no way he can defeat Omni-Man. The man literally uses Mark to destroy a whole train. I'm not even sure if I can show this. He beats him all over the place till they reach some mountain, where he hits Mark with the nastiest grounded pound I've ever seen, while trash talking him too. He even beats all of his teeth out, which then triggers a childhood flashback. These memories make Nolan realize that he still loves his son, and tries to convince him one last time. Even if this is a very serious scene, I still have to say the meme game is still a 10 out of 10.
Think, Mark!
Since Nolan just can't kill his own child, he has no other option than to just leave the planet, and dropping a manly tear as he flies away.
Mark immediately goes back to his second home, at this point, the hospital. Everyone else is trying to cope with the reality they are facing now. Debbie especially was hit by it pretty hard. Mark luckily recovers after a while and is trying to have a normal life again. However, it seems like his dad might have returned, so he needs to suit up to go and fight him. But false alarm, it's just Alan the alien. They have a little chat and Mark tells him about everything that happened. Alan then tries to recruit Mark to join the rebellion against the Viltrum Empire, and of course Mark is ready to help out if he is needed, but for now he wants to finish high school, but we will see that and much more in season 2 of... Thank you for watching all the way till the end. If you want to, leave a like or comment for part 2. Okay, thank you.